All right, let's dive right in. If you think that mastering AI at work is all about writing the perfect prompt, well, you're already falling behind. The game has totally changed, and there's a new, much more important skill set that you need to know about. Today, we're breaking down how to manage AI, not just command it. This quote right here, it absolutely nails it. The real value, the real advantage, isn't just asking a question and getting an answer anymore. It's about your ability to orchestrate the entire process, from scoping the work all the way to owning the final result. And this shows you exactly what that shift looks like. We're moving on from the old skill, which was just prompting, one-shot text generation. It was kind of like a vending machine. You put in a command, you get one thing back. Simple. But the new skill is managing. It's about directing these complex, multi-step workflows that can span across different documents, different apps. It's less like a vending machine and a whole lot more like being a project manager for a very capable, very fast new team member. So yeah, this means we have to stop thinking about AI as just a tool, like a calculator or a spell checker. We need to start treating it like a persistent coworker, one that can actually plan, do research, and carry out pretty complex jobs, all under your direction. And that brings us to the key concept here, AI workflow management. This right here is the new premium skill. It's all about being that human director in the loop, the one who guides the AI, who reviews what it comes up with, and who gives that final yes or no. This is where your judgment, your experience, becomes more valuable than it's ever been. Okay, so this all sounds compelling, right? It makes sense. But is it just a cool idea, or is this really happening now? Is big tech actually putting its money and its code where its mouth is? The answer, you'll see, is a huge yes. Let's just look at the hard evidence. We're seeing this unmistakable pattern coming from all the industry giants. And their latest product updates? They're showing us the exact future they're building.
I mean, just look at this flurry of activity. You've got Google, Anthropic, and Microsoft all rolling out major updates that point in this exact same direction. This isn't some coincidence. This is a massive, industry-wide signal that the AI coworker model is here.
Microsoft's strategy with Copilot is a perfect example. They are building it for these long, multi-step projects right inside the tools you already use. But, and this is key, they're building in user steering, checkpoints where a human has to give input. They're even creating multi-model workflows. Think about this. You could use a GPT model, which is great at creative drafting, to write a report. And then you could have another AI, like Claude, which is fantastic at careful reasoning, come in and critique that same report. That is sophisticated management, not just simple prompting. Meanwhile, Google is playing to its biggest strength, context. They're letting Gemini pull information from your files, your emails, your calendar, and of course, the web. This makes the AI incredibly powerful, but it also means the stakes are higher for you. The more context the AI has access to, the more critical your human judgment is to pick the right sources and to double-check the final result.
And then you have Anthropic, the team behind Claude. What they've really figured out is that with all this new power, you absolutely need guardrails. They're focused on building systems that give you the best of both worlds, the incredible speed of AI, but with the careful control of a human manager, making sure the AI works within boundaries that you set.
In this number, wow, this number says it all. In Anthropic's tool for programmers, Claude Code, users approved 93% of the AI's requests to actually go ahead and take action. This proves it. The most effective, the most trusted AI systems, they're not fully autonomous. They work in a loop, with a human making the really important calls. Okay, so we've seen the trend, we've seen the tech. What does this all mean for you, for your job, for your career? Let's get practical and walk through the new management playbook, the skills you need to be working on right now.
Think of this as your new job description in the age of AI. First up, step 1, define the outcome. Be specific. Don't just ask for a report. Ask for a 5-page market analysis for Q3, focused on enterprise clients. Step 2, choose the right sources. You need to tell it which internal sales data to use, which research PDF to read. Your context is everything. Step 3, assign the right model. They're not all the same. You might use one for crunching numbers and another for summarizing the key insights. Step 4, compare the outputs. Always treat the first version as a draft. Maybe run the query again or ask a different model to see if you get inconsistencies. Step 5, you gotta catch the hallucinations. Fact-check the important stuff, names, dates, stats. And finally, step 6, preserve permission boundaries. You decide if the AI can send an email on your behalf or if it just drafts it for you to review first.
But out of all of those steps, This is the one that matters most. The AI can help, it can research, it can draft, it can analyze, but you are the manager. You are the one who is ultimately accountable for the result. You have to own that final call.
This table just lays it all out crystal clear. On the left, you have the work that's most exposed to automation. It's routine, it's low context, and there's not a lot of accountability. On the right, that's your defensible work. That's your career security. It's rich in context, it requires careful review, and it has real business consequences. Your goal isn't to work faster than the AI. It's to be the person who can manage the AI to get those high-stakes results.
So let's just zoom out for a second and bring this all together with the big picture perspective from the team at 4II World, who put all this research together.
And here it is. This is the core idea. The revolution we are all living through isn't really about humans versus AI. It's a fundamental change in how work gets done. We are moving away from a world of separate, isolated outputs, and we're moving toward a future of integrated, accountable systems where humans and AI work together.
And this is how 4AI World helps you get ahead of this shift. For all you office professionals, it's about using AI for the heavy lifting, the drafting, the research, while you implement those smart checkpoints. For engineers, your job is now to design these systems with permissions and review loops built in from the ground up. And for those in operations and leadership, your real competitive edge comes from operationalizing AI responsibly and effectively.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. To stay relevant, to stay valuable, don't just learn to write a better prompt. Learn to manage your AI coworkers with judgment, with context, and with accountability. Because in the end, it really does come down to this. AI won't replace people, but people that learn AI will replace those that don't.